Okay, welcome to Summerside Intermediate students, grade 8. This reach back that we have here for you today, we're going to do it a little bit different today. I'm going to try something out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll go back to the drawing board. But if it does work, it's going to be good for both you and I in terms of being able to get a little bit of feedback to your work. So today, unlike yesterday, we are going to, if you'd like to first go get a copy of this, the questions, you can go to tinyurl.com/G8 Reachback 2 for grade 8 Reachback 2. It's the second Reachback. Or if you want, the description, the actual address is in the video, the description of the video. Just copy and paste that into your browser. Or if you want, if you don't want to do any of that, just watch this video. And as you get to each of the 7 questions, I think there's 7, just press pause, copy down the questions, and do your work. But today we're going to do it a little bit differently. In addition to that, what I'm going to get you to do is I'm not going to give you the answers today. So what I want you to do is do the 7 questions. And when you're done of all 7 questions, hopefully you did it on one piece of paper, because I don't want more than one piece of paper. Just do it on one side of a piece of paper so when you take a picture, I can see it all. And then you're going to email me a picture of your work. Okay, so email it to my school email account. And in the subject of the email, all right, I want you to write your full name. So if it's Joe Green, write Joe Green. And then I want you to write Reachback 2. So that way I know who it's from and which Reachback this is from. And then I can just open it up and take a look at your work. Now, tomorrow I'm going to post the answers. And if you do this today and you don't get many of them, let's say you only get 2 or 3, or you get stuck at whatever, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. I'm just going to know that you're struggling a little bit with the questions, and that's fine. That's no problem. It's formative. It's not worth marks. Tomorrow when I give you the answers, you're going to take that sheet, though, and you're going to go over it. And every question you couldn't do, I just want you to copy down the proper work. And on a Post-it note, make notes of things you did wrong so that next time you have to do the question, you will remember what you should have done. Okay? So with that said, your first question is on Chapter 2 from Ratio, Rate, and Proportional Reasoning. It says solve using both equivalent ratios, unit rate, and cross multiplication. It's just show work for all 3 methods. So you have to do this question 3 different ways. Now, if you forget how to do that, don't worry, go back to Monday's video. This is pretty similar to the question you had, a little bit different in terms of numbers, but the methodology for all 3 are the same. So you can solve this question using both equivalent ratios, unit rate, and cross multiplication. Your second question from Chapter 3 is on Pythagorean relationship, and you're given a triangle. Now, some of you might say that this looks an awful lot like last Monday's question because the numbers are the same, but it's a little bit different, so don't get fooled by the fact that the numbers are the same. The question is very different. And it says solve using a diagram and a formula. So try and solve it both ways. Question 3, I gave you a rectangular, that's breaking news. Chapter 5 on surface area, it says draw a net and solve. What is the surface area of this rectangular prism? So again, just like Mondays, I gave you a rectangular prism. This time I'd like you to use a net to solve it. Now, if you want and you don't want to use the net, I will accept if you use a formula as well. So if you know the formula instead and you'd rather use that, go ahead and write the formula out instead of drawing the net. Question 4 is a bedmass question with integers. 4 multiplied by 10 take away 13 plus 12 divided by -4. Don't forget when you solve this to use bedmass. And just remember your integer rules, and remember that when a number is outside brackets, it means multiplication. Question 5 comes from your chapter on linear relations. It says graph the first 3 ordered pairs from the table of values, find the equation, and find the missing y value. If you forget how to find the equation, go back and watch Monday's video with this question. Remember, the difference in y divided by the difference in x will be the coefficient of your equation. And when you graph this, I think you probably can use normal spacing numbers for your x-axis and y-axis because you only have to go 1, 2, 3 on your x and 7, 6, 5 on your y. So I think you can fit it all on there. And then once you have your equation, substitute 100 for x and solve it to find your missing y value. Question 6 is an algebra question. It's a 2-step algebra question. Remember, when you solve it, don't forget that the easiest way for you to solve these questions is to get rid of your constant first by using opposite operation, and then your coefficient second. So just be careful of that if you're having difficulty with these algebra questions. And finally, your last one, which I'll make a little bit bigger here for you. It's a fraction operations question, and it's a fairly, it's not too hard, but there's two operations. There's an addition and there's a division. Remember bedmass, and remember when dividing by whole numbers, the reciprocal of a whole number. In order to see the reciprocal, sometimes it's best to think of the whole number as being over 1, and then when you find the reciprocal, it's much easier to see it. So good luck with all of those 7 questions. If you could do it on one piece of paper, take a picture of your work, and then email me a picture of your work with, in the heading, your full name and Reachback 2. I'll be able to take a look at your work real quick, and then tomorrow I will post another video with all of the answers to these questions. Good luck and stay safe, and if I haven't told you already, I really do miss teaching all of you guys.